Hi everybody, welcome to another Stuffin' tutorial. Today we're talking about the backside 180, and recently I discovered a hack that's making my backside 180s way better than what they used to be. Backside 180s have always been a little awkward for me. I've always struggled with keeping my weight over the board so that it'll just stay under my feet and I can land on it again, but recently that's starting to change. So today we're going to talk about how to do a backside 180. We're going to start with the foot position, then the rotation, and the weight distribution. So let's look at where our feet are going to go. We've got that center line running down the middle of our board, and as we place our feet on the board, we're going to move our front foot in the direction of the heels and move our back foot in the direction of the toes so that we still have our weight centered over that center line. And so here it is with my feet. My front foot is behind the bolt. The toe of my shoe is just about at the edge of the board. My back foot, my toes are hanging off the board right about in the center of the tail. And I ride regular, so in this shot, I would be traveling to the right on your screen. Next, let's talk about rotation. You've probably heard it said that doing a 180 is just like doing an ollie, except you turn your shoulders, and that way the board will follow your shoulders and do a 180. But what is that movement actually like, and what are the mechanics of rotation? Is it in the shoulders, the waist, the arms? Where is it? So let's practice jumping and rotating without the board. I'm just going to stand still, I'm going to wind up at the waist and turn and jump. And there you go, you have a 180. Now let's try that rotation movement on the skateboard and take a look at what happens. Hang on, did you see what happened with my arms there? My front arm moves forward and my back arm moves back. As I was watching slow-mos of my 180s, I realized that I'm doing this without really thinking about it. This opposite arm motion is really important. If I just swing my arms in the opposite direction as I jump, it will help me spin. And if I really apply this motion with a big wind-up, I can do a 360 just standing on flat ground. That movement of my arms forces my shoulders to rotate, and it's actually really tangible and something you can practice just swinging your arms in an opposite motion to get some rotation going. And finally, let's talk about weight distribution. I've always had a problem where my backside 180s travel a huge distance in the direction that my toes were facing before I rotated. But I'm starting to overcome that simply with where my weight is over the board as I start the trick. Let's look at two 180s side by side. The one on the left of the screen is going to be the one that's not so good. The one on the right of the screen is the one with the big improvement. When I realized that I was traveling this huge distance in the direction of the toes, I realized how much weight I was putting on my toes as I started this trick. And so as just something to try that would be different, I tried putting most of my weight on my heels as I started the backside 180, and it makes a big difference on where I travel. Here you can see that my body position in both shots is almost identical, but since I have a lot more weight on my heels on the one on the right, I don't travel nearly as far to the left side of your screen. That helps keep the board under me. It just sort of comes around and it's a lot easier to land on it with control, and it's made a big difference recently. So if you have a hard time keeping the board under you when you try your backside 180s, really try to keep your weight centered over the board. And for me, it was visualizing putting all of my weight on my heels as I start popping this trick because I put way too much weight on my toes. So there we go. Where your weight is on the board when you start a trick is key. Makes a huge difference in where the board goes and if you can keep it under your feet and land on it again. So good luck with those backside 180s. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.